Okay, we've talked about a few different things to help move this motorcycle around from left to right, from side to side, when you're doing transitions, okay? So you have gravity. As you turn the bars, it'll pick it back up. Or you have clutch. When I'm leaned over and I pop that clutch, and you can hear it, I'll give it a little snap, and it's pushing that rear wheel. It's giving me some acceleration, and that makes the bike want to pick up very quickly. So you'll hear whoom, 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 and that helps pick the bike up. And then lastly, and as we've discussed, I'll use my feet. The feet, like I said, that's that last 5% that really separates the men from the boys. It's complex because you're doing a lot of things. And if it's a very quick transition back and forth, the other component you can use is the front brake. This is complex and it's dangerous. If you don't do it right, you can definitely hurt yourself. Essentially, think about me dropping the bike left to right. So, I fall over left. I'll use the clutch to pick it back up. Once I get past that halfway point, that midpoint, I can tap the front brake to throw the bike over faster and then catch it with the clutch. It's complex because you're doing a handful of things. Yes, you're still balance ball. You're using your feet to help move that bike left to right where it's quick, but you'll pop the clutch and then you'll grab the brake because again, once I'm at this side, the front brake's gonna make me wanna hit the ground. If I'm already down here, the clutch pop will make the bike wanna pick up. So you've got, between the clutch and the front brake, you've got the tools to throw the bike over and lift the bike up. It's subtle, and if you do it if you get the timing wrong, you're gonna crash. Or it just will feel really weird and be a lot of exercise for you. So that's a lot of really sort of complex, multiple things going on at one time. What I would like you to do is work on one of those things. And really of all those, the most important one and the most potent is the clutch. So what you're gonna hear, I'm gonna ride back and forth, but the visual is less important than the sound. I want you to listen to what this engine's doing when I do it. You'll hear the clutch snap a little bit when I'm leaned over. And that's just speeding up the bike coming over. Well, if I'm just using gravity, the bike's as fast as, the gravity and my pace is allowing me to go. So I start looking at some of these tight cone patterns and I said, wait a minute, if I pop that clutch when the bike's leaned over, it'll pick up faster. Well, if it picks up faster, then I'm gonna be able to go faster. And then I realized, okay, wait a minute, if I grab the front brake past that halfway point, it's throwing the bike toward the ground faster. If I can pick it up faster and drop it over faster, wow, I can actually speed up a little more. It's incremental, and the payoff is, to me, if you don't have that clutch really worked out and you're not really pushing the envelope of momentum through sections like that, the front brake thing is risk versus reward. It's not great. So let me show you what I'm talking about with the clutch. And this is something you can work on all the time, everywhere, okay? Oh, first you gotta take the kickstand up. Who knew? Okay, so I'm gonna ride to and from the camera. Basically, this is full lock to lock stuff, okay? Right? Just lock to lock. Listen to the engine. Just sliding the clutch, right? You don't really hear anything but one steady hum, correct? Lock, lock. But that's it's basically gravity. Nothing fancy there. And this is what most people do. So now, start listening to this. Hear that? Hear the clutch kind of going whoom, whoom, whoom. So what it's doing is, right here, it's popping the bike up quicker. It's a little bit more aggressive. It's not as smooth. It's not as smooth. It's not as pretty. It's a little bit quicker. So what it's also going to do for you, to make it a little more comfortable with using the clutch in certain situations. Like, let's say I'm just over here, all of a sudden I'm turning and the ground drops off a little, I hit a crack or something. Get you a little more comfortable with popping that clutch. And also, if I'm gonna go full right, I'm full lock right now, okay? Here, full lock. Now I gotta go full left, listen to the engine. Hear that? Here it is. As I transition, I want some power. Not just the steady power, but hear that? That helps get me over quicker. So a lot of people struggle in patterns because they can't make quick transitions from left to right, and they run out of real estate. But think, however quick you can get from lock to lock, lock, lock. So if I can do that, if I can do lock to lock quick, I'm not eating a lot of real estate. And then watch my butt. I'm picking up off the seat, watch. It's one last thing I have to lift. Here I am, watch. So I'm pushing with my foot now when I transition quick on these tight ones. Now I'm crack to crack on the seat. Crack to crack. Okay? So I'm using my feet, the clutch. It's too slow for me to grab that front brake right now to drop the bike over, and it's unnecessary because this is a real slow speed scenario, okay? So think about that clutch, that little clutch pop to really help you transition, whether it be a series of lesson rights or it's just a tight section, pop it to drop the other direction. What you'll notice is you're gonna eat up far less real estate, and it's gonna give you a lot more time to figure out those sections. Like this one, the eliminator. You drop in, big right, left, right, and out. And you see people struggle because that first right, and then they gotta transition left, and they take too long. But if they just drop the bike over and give it a nice pop, poof, it just picks the bike up and goes the other way. Real quick, real easy, really, really makes things simpler.